What's up, guys? Big Papa Drock back with another Raid Shadow Legends video. And today is actually Christmas. I'm recording this on Christmas, guys. So a Merry Christmas to you and your family if you celebrate the holiday. I have had a very chill day making Raid Shadow Legends videos and, you know, doing a little housework, and that's been about it. I'm going to do a little Christmas stream later, so I'm excited for that. Should be fun, but overall, pretty chill holiday for me. So let me know down in the comments below what you've done for Christmas, if you did anything fun or visited family or whatever. But I thought, you know, it would be a nice little Christmas present for the community. Why don't we do a video that a lot of people have requested for a very long time, and that is Drock, show us the world's strongest Duchess. Show us her true power. And so, you know what? Merry Christmas, you filthy animals. That's what you're getting today. It's a world's strongest Duchess video. But before we get into that, let's talk for a second about world's strongest Duchess as a whole, guys. First and foremost, there's really no such thing as the world's strongest Duchess. And the reason for that is there are so many different ways to build her, depending on what kind of content you're looking to do. And there is no one right or wrong way. It just really depends on what you're looking to use her for. So the build that I'm going to show you today is my build for my +4 fully ascended, fully maxed Duchess that I use in live arena. And I think this is a really good live arena build, and I'll talk about why. And then I'll also talk about different builds that you can do with Duchess if you so choose, and different ways you can build her depending on what kind of content you're going to do with her. But first, let's get into my Duchess build. Oh, baby, look at her. Gorgeous. Gorgeous Duchess, still one of the absolute best champions in the entire game. You see her all the time in, you know, mostly live arena nowadays, not as much in classic arena, though she still makes an appearance for classic arena defense at the high level. But let's quickly look at her skills. I'm not going to go too deep into this because I think we all know what it is, but her A1 is great because it's a double hitter that also puts a shield buff on herself as well as an ally, which is awesome. So pretty cool. This can actually hit harder than people think. If you've watched any of my live streams, you've seen Duchess do a little work sometimes when she crits. So don't ever really build her for damage, but it is kind of cool when you get a little bit more damage out of this A1 than you would think. Her A2, I mean, what an incredible ability. Block debuffs, increase attack on everybody, and then most importantly, puts up a perfect veil to hide your allies. This is so good when you're using it with an attack-based nuker like a Rhonda or a Georgette or a Rhodos. Just an incredible ability. When we look at the A3, again, a really sick ability. Revives all dead allies with 70% HP. So awesome. Places a veil, so not a perfect veil. So if somebody attacks, they're going to lose that, though it doesn't really matter because it's only one turn. And then also has the ability to heal. I think one of the most challenging things with Duchess in today's meta is she doesn't have like a full-on, you know, heal as part of like her A2, where you can just choose to do it whenever you want. But she does have a little bit of a heal on the A3, and that is helpful in live arena battles, especially. So nice to see it. And again, reviving every ally with a bunch of HP is never a bad thing. Though I think you can argue that there are some people that have maybe better, you know, revives because they give you increased turn meter. Or some level of turn meter as well, which is always the toughest thing with this revive is, can you keep your champions alive until they get back to their turns? But still, an incredible revive, one of the best in the game overall. And then obviously her passive is just god tier. Decreases the damage taken by all allies from AoE attacks by 25%. She's basically got a permanent strengthen buff on her, which is such a sick passive. Now, I think in the past, they talked about actually nerfing Duchess a long time ago. I'm glad they didn't. I don't think she's broken. I don't think she's like the best of all champions for things like live arena. I think she's actually settled into a really good place and just an all-around excellent, great champion. And again, a champion you can use in so much content, whether it's PvE or PvP. Let's take a look at the masteries of how I've built my Duchess. So we've got her in the defense and support trees you can see here. I've gone for timely intervention, getting that increased turn meter. I think that's so important. As more turns, the better. typically. This is more of a live arena build. You can also say this is a classic arena build as well. Obviously, the biggest difference you might see in how people build their Duchess is if they're building a resist Duchess, they might go for Unshakable to get more resistance. And that is a viable build still. Not as much as it maybe used to be, but it's still viable overall, I think. I've also got Cycle Revenge here, increasing the turn meter, obviously, really, really big. And then Spirit Haste to increase her speed if people are dead, as well as Lasting Gifts. This is so powerful when she's putting up that perfect veil. If you get lucky and get an extension on that perfect veil on someone like a Rhonda, keeps them alive longer. So I like this kind of mastery setup for my Duchess, but there are, again, different ways you can do her depending on different ways you can do it. There are different ways you can build the masteries, guys. That's what I'm trying to say here. So, just keep that in mind. All right, let's take a look at how we've built her. She's +4, as you can see. She's fully awakened Mac Daddy. I've got her in 2-turn Stone Skin with 1 mythical piece. This is just a solid speed piece. Wish this were HP percentage. I think the biggest thing that I want to change about my Duchess is to just get more HP on her, which you'll see in a second. But again, she's built super strong. I mean, this is a fantastic Stone Skin piece with both HP and defense and triple speed. We got more triple speed, HP, defense again. So really good pieces. HP percentage, gauntlets with a defense ascension. I wish this were HP, that it would truly be God tier. And also wish it were a triple roll on the speed as well. But still really solid pieces, especially for Stone Skin, given how hard it is to get. HP, chest, HP ascension flat stat. So again, there's room for her to get stronger. And again, wish this were a triple speed. Speed is really what I need more of with her for how I've built her. And then we've got a speed boot. This accuracy completely worthless, but it did ascend speed, which is why I've got that on her. And again, more HP there. Take a look at the accessories. HP ascension, defense, HP. There's a lot. I mean, HP is basically what I'm saying all the time here. We got 1 reaction piece on her, which is great if you are trying to avoid getting killed by a Georgid. Obviously, the faster she is, the less important this is. So I don't find myself getting outsped super often, and usually Georgian's getting banned anyway. But it is nice to have there just in case. And then we've got a triple HP roll, HP ring, so with more defense. So I would say pretty darn good gear overall on my Duchess. Let's take a look at her stats. So she's rocking 115k HP. I'm actually not in Platinum Arena right now, so this would be more like 117, 116 something if we were in Plat. She's got 5,500 defense, so a lot of defense. I do wish I had more HP relative to the defense. I could lose easily 600 defense here and gain that in HP and come out further ahead, given that you obviously get diminishing returns on defense as you go along. But this also isn't bad when you consider that a lot of times Harima is the person facing Duchess, and so having a higher defense stat to start with means obviously you end up with a higher defense stat after Harima decreases your defense. So not bad for live arena. 343 speed, so we built her really fast in 2-turn Stone Skin, which is great. I would love to be able to get her to like 360, 370 speed while maintaining these kind of stats. That would honestly be ideal, but we're not quite there yet. Got to get some more triple rolls and, maybe a quad or 2. And then really the rest of this is kind of whatever. Like, I wish her resistance maybe weren't quite so high so she'd proc polymorph more often. And I forgot to mention she is built in polymorph, as you can see here. So we do have her in 6-star polymorph. I think this makes the most sense in the current meta. As much as I hate polymorph, it is by far the most powerful blessing in the entire game. And so I would say keeping her in polymorph makes the most sense. The only other thing I would consider switching her to, and maybe after a polymorph nerf I might, would be something like potentially Life Harvest, or even potentially Temporal Chains. And the reason why is typically when you're picking Duchess in live arena, it means your opponent has already picked a Sifi, right? Sifi is the god tier end all best live arena champion, in my opinion, in the entire game. And so usually you're picking Duchess into Sifi because Duchess is kind of your next best bet for god tier revive, god tier support. The one thing that's challenging though, of course, with Duchess is it's really hard, speed-wise to match what a Siphi does while still doing 2-turn Stone Skin and still having really strong HP and defense stats. But, you know, if you've watched any of my live streams, you'll have seen, like, this Duchess can take a hit. This Duchess does not go down easy. She is the definition of clutch in live stream. And I think this build, a 2-turn Stone Skin, makes the most sense, in my opinion, for live arena, excuse me, for live arena battles at the current moment in the current meta. You could argue that a super high resistance Duchess can still be viable if she's fast enough, depending on the champion she's picked with. So that's also viable. I think bolster Duchess can work sometimes in live arena, but I don't think it's as good of a choice most of the time as Stone Skin is. I think having that 2 turns of Stone Skin really comes in handy when you're facing a Rhodos, for example, because at this speed, he's usually going to get his turn before her, you know, second turn of Stone Skin disappears, which means he's going to do absolutely nothing. And just run right into her Stone Skin. So this is how I build my Duchess, and I think my Duchess does pretty darn well in live arena overall. Now, we're not going to do a damage test with her because there's really no point. You're not, you know, like, her A1 isn't anything to get excited about damage wise, but we will bring her into just classic arena and see how she kind of does in this setting. Like I said, we're not, oh Lord, the deals, oh, hold on, the deals, Christmas bundle. Wait, we're holiday pack. Oh baby, 4 void charts, 4 primals, guys, get them packs. Live arena is actually open. You know what? All right, let's see if we can take her into live arena. Let's see if we can get a live arena battle, because that's the better showcase for her anyway. I don't really want to pick Duchess first in live arena. You know what I mean? Like, if I get first pick, it doesn't really serve me to pick her first. But maybe we'll get like a second pick battle and I can show her off for a battle or two and see how she does. Again, I think overall she is not as good of a champion as Siphi is. Siphi is better. Okay, we did get first pick. You know what? I'll go ahead and pick her anyway, whatever. And we'll just have to hope she doesn't get banned. Unfortunately, a lot of times she does. So that makes kind of hard to, you know, to showcase live arena builds, unfortunately. But let's see what we can do. Let's see if we can get her cooking here. And see if we can make sure she's not banned to show her off. So we'll roll with Duchess, Marichka, and Taurus on this one. So very strong build here. Again, you see, like, picking Siphi, very smart. I think overall, like I said, Siphi just better overall champion than Duchess at this point in time. But Duchess isn't super far off from Siphi. And again, you can win a lot of battles with Duchess, though I think we can all agree going second is a lot harder in live arena, and I would be willing to bet that people have lower win rates going second than they do picking first, essentially. So we'll see what we can do. But I mean, like, she is, I love this build for live arena. I think having a fast Duchess is such an advantage when you think about getting your champions back up, getting more heals out, putting up more shield buffs with the A1, which matters. You know what I mean? 10% of her max HP is not a small shield buff. You know, you can do some work with that. So to me, it's very, very important to be able to, let's roll with, roll with Georgette, and we'll actually roll with, I think what's going to make the most sense. Let's go Yumiko. Yeah, I like that. I like that combo right there. And we'll ban the Rhodos. And we just got to hope that he doesn't ban the Duchess. Again, like, it's not uncommon for people to pick Duchess to ban. I think the Georgette will be the pick for him to ban. I'm hoping, at least, or possibly the Yumiko. We're going to ban the Rhodos no matter what he picks, even if he picks Warlord or something else. I don't really have anti-Rhodos abilities in here. He might pick, UDK here. He might pick Warlord. Let's see what he does. He picks the Monkey. Okay. Very tough because I don't have Monkey protection right now with Harima. But again, I think Rhodos is the more important ban. Sure enough, he banned the Duchess. This is what makes it so hard to, like, showcase champions in live arena, unfortunately. This is why I don't usually do live arena showcases, because of this right here. So obviously this is pointless for me to do this battle from the perspective of the showcase, so I'm not going to include it on this, and it looks like I'll just have to cut to live arena, which is such a bummer because I did want to actually show her off, but what are you gonna do? You know what I mean? Why do I buy? I don't know. I don't know why I try to like show anything. Also, I don't know why. Actually, that's fine. I don't know why I try to show anything off in live arena with champions, because 99% of the time they get banned anyway, and it's just completely pointless. So, all right, we're in gold 5 here. I should probably get to platinum to show her off. So let me get to platinum quickly, and then we'll take her into a couple battles so you can see what she looks like. I did win that live arena battle, by the way. Here's proof. Well, I'm in classic arena. How about here's proof. There you go, victory. You can see we've been getting some victories. We've been on a little win streak here, which is nice. So there you go. All right, let me get to platinum and then show off what Duchess can do with my build in classic arena. Okay, we're back and we are now in platinum arena. We are in the middle of platinum arena over here at 221. So we should have some good battles. Just a quick note, by the way, too, in terms of like strongest champions, keep in mind, my Great Hall is still not finished, and I'll move my camera over here to the right. You can see there's actually still more HP for me to get on potentially Duchess, which is, I don't know, sad, embarrassing. This takes a long time, you know what I mean? And I just don't care about classic arena the way I once did. Is anybody else kind of in the same boat, where classic arena just doesn't do it for you anymore? There's a lot of reasons why. I've talked about them in other videos, but anyway, we're gonna still show her off in classic arena. That way we can actually show off Duchess, where you can get an idea of what she can do. The biggest problem here is gonna be speed. Obviously, we're not gonna be as fast with Duchess as we would be with Arbiter, but hopefully we'll be fast enough to still make this work. So let's get in here and let's see what she can do. We've taken it off auto to give an idea of what she's capable of. Of course, we had Uko stealing our buffs. Man, he is stealing everything right now, which is never fun. But even still, we should be all right. Should be able to make it work. We're not going to use, well, he's got stones. It doesn't really matter. We'll just drill the Uko anyway. Wait a turn. Uko kind of a tricky champion when you're using someone like Duchess, because of the ability to steal so many of those buffs away. Obviously, the affinity isn't good for Uko, but still, Duchess's real value is 1, staying alive, 2, putting out a ton of buffs, etc., so on and so forth. We'll go ahead and just nuke the Marichka for now. Almost dead. That is the power of strengthen right there. Sheesh. All right, we're not quite back around to Duchess's abilities. It won't matter, though, because we got our boy Georgid, and Georgid doesn't play around. Nice. So 1 minute off non-auto. You could definitely auto that team. I think the big question is always, how do you handle Taurus and Marichka, right? So is Duchess a viable speed lead for a Taurus and Marichka team? Let's see if we can find one in here. Here we go. With a Duchess, actually. This is a great example. So my guess is this is probably a resist Duchess based on the team power. So this gives us a really good idea of what that can do in arena and how frustrating that can be when you're facing that. So this is kind of a different build than what we've got right here. Again, mine is more, I would say, a live arena build, but nope, doesn't matter. It was actually Marichka who was the resisty one. Okay. All right. Soften up this Taurus for our boy Georgid. Couldn't quite kill him. Weird to have that set as the... I don't know why you wouldn't have the heal set there. That is really strange. That's a choice by whoever the person is with this team. I don't know why you would do that. It doesn't really make a lot of sense, but let's see. Okay, we should be able to hopefully kill. Nope, couldn't quite kill. So this decision could come back to bite us, because I thought we'd be able to kill the Duchess. Now the Duchess has got everybody up. Pain, suffering. We do have to drop the nuke. It does give us the unkillable. So at least we can come back and finish this off without any issues. So our boy Georgia can't die. Our Duchess didn't die, you can see there, even from a Taurus nuke. Still had quite a bit of health left. So that actually is a great example of why building her super tanky can really, really go a long way towards keeping your entire team alive. Having that res, again, is big. We'll go ahead and just hit regularly here, do a little more damage. Okay, we've got this up again. So again, like Duchess isn't like for classic arena, she's not your go-to on arena offense, right? Like she's much better in arena defense for sure. And again, for a classic arena build, I would probably build her high resist stone skin as opposed to high speed stone skin. But you can, as you see, you can use her for offense. You can beat, you know, the meta teams. It just takes a little bit longer than some of the other options. Let's see. Anything else you want to take a look at here that makes sense to challenge? Maybe what's the power level here? Let's see if we can find a high power level Taurus Marichka just to show her off. Hopefully without too much speed, because again, that's the real challenge here. Is if someone's got massive amounts of speed, you're kind of in trouble. Yeah, Glyphy Nitro will work. That'll work. We can rock with that. Oh, SP Terry. Okay. Oh, and another Duchess. This is great. So we get to see another build of how someone else has built her. Okay. Let's see what we can do. All right, we got the lockout. Looks like this is possibly a bolster Duchess. Potentially would be my guess. That or a bolster Marichka. Actually, I'm going to say probably a bolster Duchess. Maybe multiple bolsters here. There's a lot of bolstering right now. I don't know who's bolstered. Is it just Duchess? Is it Marichka? Is it UDK? Are they all bolstered? Who knows? But again, like you can use Duchess and bolster, and I think especially for PvE content, bolster Duchess makes a lot of sense for PvE based stuff for sure. Just like, you know, can really keep your team alive when she's popping off in PvE based stuff with that shield. But again, I don't think the best choice for PvP. Like, I don't think it makes a lot of sense to do bolster Duchess in PvP. I think Stone Skin is just overall a better build because it's so much harder to deal with that. And, you know, you can't debuff her obviously when she's in Stone Skin, and also Rhodos can't kill through Stone Skin, which is the other big reason why I think Stone Skin is better overall. This is taking longer than I would like, but you know, that's welcome to the meta, my friends. Welcome to the meta. Oh baby, oh baby. One of these days, Plarium's gonna wake up and actually nerf these champions. I'd like to believe, you know what I mean? I'm praying one day it might happen. All right, we can go auto now and let it finish it off. You know, I mean, it just goes to show how absurdly powerful Taurus and Marichka are. There's no way to do one of these showcase videos anymore without commenting on it, because they, as you can see, are just absurdly broken. But Duchess, still a grade A, top tier, god tier champ. One of the ones that you hope to pull for your account no matter what. And again, she has so much viability across the game, regardless of where you're going to use her. Like I said before, if you're using her in live arena, I do really believe in the super fast, super tanky Stone Skin 2-turn build. That's served me very well. But if you want to go high resist, super tanky, decent speed, that works too. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know how you build your Duchess down below in the comments. If you enjoyed this, drop a like and a subscribe or something like that. And have a wonderful Christmas with your families, guys. And hopefully I'll see you on the live stream tonight. All right. Big Papa Drock out.